I'm Colin.
I'm David.
And I'm Bradley.
And this is Overarching, a podcast about St. Louis for people who have heads and shoulders and knees and toes.
And eyes and ears and mouth and nose.
He has a child. Let's say the pledge.
I was going to say that might be ableist.
For people who don't?
People who don't have eyes?
People who don't have heads.
I think the podcast is for everybody.
Yeah. Sorry, toeless people.
Let's say the pledge.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes is that. Yeah, okay. I
You
can
cannot
see what
have
you're doing.
toes.
I get it.
Hey, tune into the Patreon. I'll sing it in French. All right.
What?
Anyway, moving on.
I pledge allegiance to Gregory FX Daly, the one to whom we owe it all, and to our taxes, which we prefer to be spent on things we voted for, like the Green Line and the Brick Line Greenway. Lots of lines, lots of green. More specifically, actual service improvements and not just security theater. Because when access to funding for public projects is tied to a laundry list of demands from people in power who have never used the service and likely will never use the service, that promotes optics over outcomes. And it ends up looking like a waste of money, and then they'll start taking money away from it. And then the service starts to suck. And then they rip out all the streetcars and build a highway through the middle of downtown and convince themselves that steamboats are still the future. 1% to the god of yellow envelopes ignored by all.
Okay, yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
That's an amuse-bouche, if you will, to warm the palate.
I have
Still on that boosh talk, aren't we?
No, I just feel like
I have a bidet. Thank you. Again,
To amuse your booty?
To clean it. Clean it.
yeah.
To amuse your booty?
Again, for all that are listening, if you could have an extra $10,000 every year, that's an argument about public transit that will radicalize you as a question. The other question that I've encountered in my life that immediately is radicalizing is, if you got poop on any other part of your body, would you just wipe it off with a dry napkin? No, you wouldn't. Get a bidet, clean your ass.
That's a really. I haven't heard about that. If you just got poop on your
if you got
arm,
poop on your arm, would you just wipe it off with a napkin?
I use Louis's baby wipes.
That's not a dry napkin.
By the way, gotten poop on my arm before.
From your son?
Yeah, that's how that works.
How many people's poop have you gotten on your arm in your life?
That one person.
Okay. Great. Yeah, no. And
My wife cannot say that as a nurse.
And baby wipes are just dude wipes?
Yes.
But men, for some reason,
I don't have dude wipes. I use my kids' wipes.
Great.
It's great.
Love it.
David, you have a
you said you have a shtick for us, a game for us?
Yeah, just
I like playing games. I like winning games.
one thing we're known for is journalistic integrity on this show. So who doesn't love a little clickbait, Here's some.
I'm a click shrimp.
Let's blind rank some famous St. Louisans.
Okay.
Shall we?
Okay. Out of how many?
Yeah.
10.
10?
10.
We're not doing 5. We're doing full 10.
Are we
blind ranking 10?
Are Colin and I coming to consensus on these?
You have to come to consensus,
Oh,
and
boy.
I will do your rankings for you.
For those of us,
are you keeping track of where they are? Or do we need to type?
Yes, I will keep track of where
Love
they
it.
are.
for those of us not chronically online, blind ranking.
Yeah, basically you take
If
a
you're
category.
watching, they're listening to the show. You're
Yeah.
chronically on.
That's not true.
We're going to take a category of St. Louisans, and we're going to say who's better and who's worse in the order we encounter them, hoping that by the end, when we filled out this list of 10, that we don't make fools of ourselves.
Ian is smiling from ear to ear right
I'm
now.
guessing that
Probably
David
will.
has designed this to make fools out of us.
Nope.
But
No, genuinely,
see.
I made it just.
who's fooling who?
I
Who's
chose
zooming
them.
who?
Phyllis
You
Schlafly's
have to
going
do
be the
that.
last one, and we're going to have
The
one
whole
spot
reason
open,
this
and we're
game
gonna
is-
have to say Phyllis Schlafly's number one. I know it. I know it.
David,
I know it. I'm calling
is your list a complete list of 10, or are you gonna say depending on what they have open, you're gonna
No, I have a structure.
okay.
I have a
Okay.
structure.
Okay.
I'm trusting the system. Let's go.
All right. We'll keep with the amuse-bouche idea, if you will.
I'm going to need you to define that, actually.
to cleanse the palate.
Oh, okay.
No. Anyway, well,
That's what an amuse-bouche is, you ding-dong.
My boosh is really amused right now.
Ian,
it's a tease.
what is an
It's a
amuse-bouche?
tease.
It's to cleanse the palate.
Amuse as in amusement, as in to give
As
a
in
little,
roller coasters?
Yeah, well, I don't put my mouth on
If
roller
this is wrong, then
coasters.
Sam Reich is wrong.
The literal translation is mouth amuser.
Yeah,
Mouth amuser.
Let's hear who we're playing ranking, David.
I'm right too. That's what it means. And we can
Start the thing.
both be right. John Goodman.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Upper echelon.
He's a good man.
Yes, literally.
He's a good John.
I feel like 4
He-
or 5.
Do we, as theater people, rank him higher because he gave all that money to the rep?
He didn't give all that money. Well, I think he did give it.
He matched all that money for the
Let's
rep.
move this quicker.
He showed up for and he volunteered his time as a fundraiser for the rep.
Oh, I thought he gave money.
He might have done that too.
He gave
All right.
money as well.
I'm down with 4.
4. Let's
4.
all right.
Put it on the board.
Next, we have Josephine Baker.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a strong. Who's better than that? Found out recently, by the way, actually, Josephine Baker. Ooh.
Here's the thing.
I want to make sure I'm not wrong. I think, fact check me. Josephine Baker, born in the Social Evils Hospital,
Oh, interesting.
but later when it was not the Social Evils Hospital.
So,
Double check myself.
Colin, as
Yes.
I said before, I like winning games.
Yes.
And you made a great point of, it'd be easy to say, like, all right, clear 2 or 3, and, like, let's save one for who's really, really good. But here's the thing. We're not going to make fools of ourselves. Like, unless, Jesus Christ himself, and jury's even out on that one. I don't think he's a St. Louisan. We're not going to get embarrassed by...
He's omnipresent.
We're not going to get embarrassed by having Josephine Baker in first place.
Yeah, but it's a better.
I don't care about the content. I care about winning. So let's put Josephine Baker number 1.
Let's
Maybe
put her-
I know that you care
Let's
about
put her
winning,
at number
Bradley.
2. Let's put her at number 2.
All right,
She's
2.
number 1 in our hearts, but for the content, we're going to put her at number 2.
It's all your fault if we get stuck with Phyllis Schlafly at 1.
Maya Angelou.
Okay.
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 You want to throw Maya at 1? It's 3 or 1.
I feel bad throwing her at 3.
So let's put Maya Angelou up at 1.
Okay, let's, for a moment, who could possibly be on this list that would top Maya Angelou?
I mean, I'm trying to think back to the baseball draft and like...
I mean, for David, it's like Lou Brock. But famously, David thinks Maya Angelou's hot.
Yeah.
I do.
So, along with Fred Bird
Fred Bird's hot.
and several other people.
Yes. Maya Angelou number 1. Let's
Maya
do
Angelou,
it.
yeah, number 1. Fine. Number 1.
Okay. Thomas Egan.
Like the head of Lumen Industries?
No, that's Keir. Isn't that Keir?
It's Keir Egan, but they're all the Egans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Egan
Who
family.
is...
Well, why do you?
Who is...
Who is Thomas Egan?
What? Oh no! They host a St. Louis podcast show and don't know Thomas
Gonna
Egan.
find out.
Okay, you guys.
He doesn't have a major street named after him.
Well, yeah. There's a reason.
oh,
American Gangster.
Egan. No, I definitely haven't heard
Oh,
of this guy.
yeah. Never
Namesake of the infamous Egan's Rats, and they have their own
involved in bootlegging and illegal gambling in St.
Many
Louis, Missouri.
many people still think.
So
Think he was framed?
voter
No.
intimidation.
No, still think there's people in power in St. Louis that have stemmed from.
There is no. Oh, well,
What is-
probably.
okay?
gangs.
So Egan's Rats, 35 years of criminal activity, including bootlegging, labor slugging. Citation needed. What is labor slugging?
Is it like?
Is that bad? Bad or it sounds bad?
It sounds like
labor slugging.
Yeah, I don't
is
know.
that like being
Is
a
that
hired,
Union busting. Yeah, union busting.
He's
Okay,
the
he's bad. He's bad.
hired
He's bad.
dudes?
I was
Great.
gonna say,
Yeah.
is that hitting
Okay.
union?
Great.
I love
people
under
with
criminal
baseball
activities.
bats?
Under criminal activities, we get rum running,
Sounds
robbery,
fun.
murder, extortion, and union busting.
Yeah. So
Um,
let's 9 or 10, baby.
He could have just been
He is
misunderstood.
bad. He's bad.
He could have been misunderstood.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I think he made himself pretty clear.
9 or
35
10.
years of criminal activity. Let's go 9 because I
Right.
feel like we might get worse.
I get Phyllis Schlafly.
he at least got us all drunk.
Right.
Sexy red.
Sexy Red. I heard recently from a young person, a student of mine, that Sexy Red doesn't claim St. Louis as profoundly as she should. I could be wrong about this.
She is not very vocal.
Well, I mean,
This is true.
she had a rough upbringing in St. Louis. Probably wouldn't claim it either. If
I mean, SZA also doesn't necessarily claim St. Louis a ton,
But wore a Blues jersey
but
on the album cover.
she doesn't claim it a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
she
not
know, she is very much so vocal about
She's not
she's
like
I'm a
Sterling.
St. Louisan kind of. Yeah,
She's not
absolutely.
like Sterling K. Brown on Jimmy Kimmel fighting him over emo.
Oh my God, yeah, Sterling K is very much so wanting to be the face of our town.
Let's
Because up at the top, we only on the
we have
upper
Maya.
half.
We have Maya and Josephine Baker tied for 1.
Sure, but we have three and
Three's
5
open.
are open. 3 and 5 are open.
So 3's open, but who's 4?
John Goodman.
John Goodman. I don't think Sexy Red is above John Goodman for me.
I'd agree. Yeah.
Let's put Sexy Red non-derogatory at 6.
Yeah, non-derogatory 6.
Yeah.
Senator Thomas Hart Benton.
Iconic.
Did he own slaves?
Did Senator Thomas Hart Benton own
I
slaves?
always get confused between the poet and the senator. Which one of them has the statue in the
If
park?
you don't, okay, here we go. If you don't know anything about Senator Thomas Hart Benton of Benton Park fame,
He was a Democrat.
At what
which
time?
actually, fun fact, there was a
the
place
painter,
called
not the poet.
City Park before, City Park, which is now Energizer Park. City Park is now Benton Park.
Old Bullion.
Champion of westward expansion. Yee.
Okay,
Okay.
let's just say this man...
Political party before 1825, Democratic Republican. 1825 to 1837, Jacksonian.
Ooh, boy.
Let's just say there was a person that was in charge of westward expansion specifically for how much he despised Native Americans.
Yeah. Looks like we got
he sounds worse than
His nickname among the wasps, if we call them that, was the Indian Killer.
So
I
certainly
think, well, I
entertaining.
don't want to be.
love
I don't
to
want to be
raise-
caught. I don't want to be caught not. ranking
People
this guy
love
at
to
10.
raise a fuss about tearing down statues and all these things, and yet we still have a neighborhood too named after this man.
It's the painter. It's the painter. It's the painter.
Okay.
And it's Thomas Hart Benton, the painter, and Thomas Hart Benton West, the other painter.
It's the painter.
Yeah, it's the painter.
Yeah, there you go.
The just like Limburg is named after.
Anyways, where you
the
want to
baby.
go with this one? Where do you want to go
10.
with this one?
It's got to be 10.
Let's throw it at 10,
Yeah,
all the way to the bottom.
he's definitely worse than that other guy. And Keir Egan.
This one I'm curious about if you know or not. Part of this is also to increase people's knowledge of who these people are.
Sure, yeah.
So that's what this is for. Dr. Margaret G. Smith. Anyone?
Sounds not immediately.
Anyone?
I don't know.
Ian.
Dame Maggie Smith.
Yeah. Margaret Gladys Smith.
She a doctor.
Her nickname is the mother of cytomegalovirus.
Sorry, what?
She was
Is
an
she a villain in an
epidemiologist of
anime?
sorts. She was an epidemiologist of sorts. She was one of the brightest minds in medical research in St. Louis history and saved hundreds, if not thousands, of St. Louis children's lives through her research in the 1930s.
Did your wife put you up to this?
Nope.
Oh, wow.
No, I have just known about her infrequently. Every once in a while, she'll pop up in
And
my
you
brain,
waited
and I'm
this long to tell us.
I mean,
Well,
you know,
To be fair,
Hiding your light under a bushel, David.
they know what they say, that she, compared to a man, she only occupies 70% of my brain, you know?
her employer, Johns Hopkins School of Medicine for 7 years till 1929, and then Washington University School of Medicine from 1929 to present.
More of you need to learn about
Still
Dr.
employed.
Margaret
Still
Smith.
employed.
It's just, I feel like she needs
Yeah.
to be celebrated a lot more in this city.
Great.
One of the reasons why I put her on this list, I kind of figured you knew.
We have 3 and 5 open.
Yeah.
What are the other spots we have open?
Currently, you have 4, 2, 1, 9, 6, and 10.
Which ones?
What's ones we have open?
Oh, you have 3,
8, 7.
You have 3, 5, 7, 8.
Yeah.
3, 5, 7, 8.
Yeah.
You want to do 5?
I think once again, we won't be embarrassed by having her at 3.
That's true.
Let's
3.
Put her at 3, yeah. And you know what that makes? All women in our top 3. We're
Wow, you're so good.
one of the good ones.
Whoa,
One of the good ones.
you're such
Bradley
a-
Rolfe. One of the
wow,
good ones.
such a good person.
Ladies.
All right, here we go. Next, Phyllis Schlafly.
Hey, and I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Like
Compared-
she's awful. The last two guys like actually killed people. I guess Phyllis Schlafly
Saved lives.
saved women's lives by keeping them in the home. Ugh.
Anyway,
Phyllis Schlafly.
have we passed the ERA yet?
Huh?
Have we passed the ERA yet?
Well, no. Joe Biden was just like, it's passed. And then the lady was like, it's not. And then that's kind of how we ended things a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's anyway, Phyllis Schlafly, go hit her with the baseball.
Yep.
John Hamm.
John Hamm.
Oh, see, this is recent developments.
Okay.
I added him.
John Hamm introduced the Kansas City Chiefs at the Super Bowl the other night. And on one hand, I'm mad about it because famously, not a Kansas Cityan. Also, how you going to bring a St. Louisan to introduce an NFL team given recent
right.
given recent scars in this
Yeah.
city about football?
Like it should have been Jason Sudeikis.
Sure.
Like you want a KC boy, you know?
Yeah.
Like that'd be great.
There's plenty of great KC people, but I'm not going to be mad at him for taking a paycheck.
Sure. What do we have? We have.
I
what?
mean, I'm not happy with John Hamm.
We have 5 and 7 left.
I'm not like
He's
like
repped St. Louis hard.
pissed. I'm not pissed about it.
Most
but
of
this
his
feels
life.
like an NFL play to try to get St. Louis more St. Louisans on the
Absolutely.
Chiefs.
So who do we hate, the NFL or John
I've always
Hamm?
hated the NFL.
Right,
Even
well-
when the Rams were here, I hated the NFL.
So do we hate the NFL or do we hate John Hamm for taking a paycheck?
So
the
here's
NFL?
here's the
okay,
question.
so
Absolutely.
John Hamm's at 5.
He's at 5, and whoever's left is going to be a 7.
Yes, and I feel like I'm going to kick myself for this. But yeah, 5.
I am.
Because I don't think John
I
Hamm,
have.
I don't think
I think-
You've
I think
committed. You've committed.
True
I've
to-
baited.
and true to our point of because we have Sexy Red at 6, and it's like John Hamm does have a better reputation of rep in St. Louis.
Yeah, and it's purely based on that. I think John Hamm's at 5.
I should have
Sorry,
reorganized these a little bit. I should have put John Hamm before Phyllis Schlafly.
Well, you should have
you baited
randomized.
us- you
You
baited
should
us
have
to make us look like
randomized the
fools.
list.
I've baited you.
You should have
a
randomized
little
the
bit.
list.
No, I
Who
had
was our last guess? We'll talk game design after hours.
James, Cool Papa Bell.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah,
Unfortunately 7
yeah,
because we have to.
yeah.
But
I mean, I think we'd. I honestly like we'd probably, if we could like do a swap, I'd say like throw him in 4th and just shift everybody down.
but we can't.
But we can't. That's the name of the game.
I don't care about the whole like three women at the top. Cool Papa Bell is my number
David
one.
Lemon doesn't care about women.
I don't
You heard it
about
here.
this list. In this particular case, I don't care that
You
the
put
3 women
too
are at
big
the
of a
top.
pause.
Cool Papa Bell.
You put too big of a pause between I don't and the rest of that sentence, David.
Well, that was a fun game, everybody.
I
Thanks
love
for
Cool-
coming to
I love
Blind
Cool Papa
Ranking
Bell
St.
so
Louisans.
much.
Next time we do it, Colin and I will make David look like a fool.
Yeah.
Even though this time we did it, we made David look like a fool.
They did.
You're allowed to believe that.
Yeah, that's great. I know who I am.
Um,
I know when I'm doing bits and I know when I'm not. And I know when you guys are just throwing me under the rug like they always do.
That's
well,
not the phrase,
we,
but
don't smile like that.
Bus? Did I say rug? Throw me under the bus?
I mean, that smile is giving.
This is
Say
my
Drake.
this is my I was about to say this is my Kendrick smile.
Ugh.
At
it's rough.
At least it's not my Drake smile. All right.
It's fair.
At least it's not. Huh? How tall am I? 5'10" on a good day.
With those lifts in his shoes.
yeah. What do you got in front of you, Colin?
With my lifts, I'm like 5'11".
Yeah, you got those Ron DeSantis boots. I got some
Why would you
papers.
compare me to
I
that,
think,
man?
I think because you wear lifts in your shoes.
That's really mean.
And you hate women. There's some papers under under your couch.
Stop
Oh,
telling
yeah?
people I hate women.
Oh, look at this. Oh my gosh. It looks like a script of some sort.
It
Looks
is.
like a dialogue on
Comment section readers theater,
Yeah.
baby, we're back, season 2. Comment section readers theater is my way of therapizing.
This is gonna be awful.
honey. I was talking.
Don't call me. Why? This is. I don't want to be on this show anymore.
Why do you hate being called honey? Let's talk about it.
Well, first of all,
Because you hate being feminized.
I've said this recently. I feel like I'm quite a dependent person. I don't like being called honey.
Would you prefer to be called a different sweet item,
Yeah, babe.
or a babe, or a
Babe.
different thing that bees do?
babe. I like babe.
Okay.
How about drone?
Or something instead of something
How about
sweet,
comb?
something savory and spicy, chili crisp.
Chili crisp. Oh, that's cute. Chili crisp. I was talking.
That's kind of a weird. That weirdly works.
I'm gonna introduce this segment.
Yeah,
now.
they should do that.
Comment
crisp.
section readers theater is the way I therapize doom scrolling. I go into a comment section on a specific post, usually Facebook, and take the comments verbatim and make a script out of them. They are rearranged for content, but not edited in any way per individual comment. This particular comment section, I believe, had 312 comments, and he's the best. And by
Wonderful.
best, I mean...
Dingy.
Let's begin, shall
Yes. All right. We are interior
Give me
KSDK Facebook comment section.
we? Headline: Kendrick Lamar, SZA coming to St. Louis. Here's when.
It was the worst halftime show I have ever seen.
Terrible.
No way.
No way!
It sucks.
Sucked.
All the old white people on here saying it sucked are cracking me up.
Sucked.
It sucked royally.
Worsted.
Can't wait. It's going to be packed and full of energy.
You must be talking about the toilet.
Stay away from. Not worth it.
I refused go downtown. Too many shootings, stolen cars, crime, etc.
Will Headley Lamar be there?
I wouldn't walk across the street to watch it again, let alone pay a dime.
I wouldn't pay a penny to see that.
I would not walk across the street to see it!
Are you all okay?
So many disenfranchised white people complaining about the halftime show because it wasn't Teddy Swims, Maroon 5, or Aerosmith. They can't all be just for you.
Please share message. I missed it.
A minor!
I had to turn my TV up and still couldn't understand what he was saying, so that's one reason I thought it was a bad halftime show.
Someone apparently didn't see the Creed Super Bowl halftime show.
Taylor Swift was in the box. She could have done better from her seat.
If you didn't like it, you didn't understand it, and it obviously wasn't for you.
I wanted to like it, but I could not understand the words.
Understand what? The sound was terrible. That's one reason I didn't like it. Couldn't tell what he was saying. It wasn't like he was singing. Did like the girl, though.
If you can't read between the lines, you're on the side against it.
Karen's down with the streets, guys. Watch out.
Oh, dear God. Could not understand a word. Hold on.
Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Could not understand a word he said. It was awful. Everybody keeps bringing race into hell that we've been. Snoop Dogg up there singing I would have not been into it, and I'm an old white guy. At least you can understand him when he sings. The dude was on her last night. Couldn't understand a word.
Very good. I'm an old white person that loves Kendrick.
Unfortunately, the people claiming it was the worst probably needed to understand it the most, but will never get it. Sad.
Remember, if you cannot whistle or hum the melody, it's not music. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
When is that Lee Greenwood show coming to town?
In every way, all day glory in the name of Jesus. In a mighty way, glory to God each and every day glory.
The dude is oh, wow. The dude is inconsequential to me. So was the game and the commercials. I did win a dozen golf balls because of the third quarter score.
It was beyond horrible.
Please explain for me what the message was. This is a sincere question.
His entire performance was a reminder of an America that the Republican Party is trying to erase.
Thank you for this info. I have a better understanding of the performance now.
Mustard!
I didn't get my mustard in.
Oh, well. too
I
bad.
didn't know what the next page was.
You're
You
good.
guys
It
got
It
there
was
ahead
just
of me.
mustard.
That was...
That makes sense.
Yeah. The guy... Man, the guy... The big, long congratulations on that one. I'm assuming guy. Talking about Snoop Dogg. Also saying, like, oh, if it was Snoop Dogg, I would have understood and liked it. Also feels like a dog whistle, considering, like, that Snoop was at the inauguration
Oh yeah.
and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
It's not just like,
Retroactive
oh,
ding
different
for that one.
rappers, like proving. Well, and once again, it is kind of like the like. You can't say
I
I'm racist because I'm supporting a different black.
Right. Yeah. I would have supported it if it was one of
Something that
the good ones.
Something that I
Yeah.
really genuinely appreciated about it was it was true emceeing. It was there
You talking
was
about the halftime show?
yeah, it was true emceeing. There was no track. It was him.
You know what my favorite
there was a
part?
track with it.
My
but that
favorite
was
part
him.
about this whole comment section. This was not a headline about the halftime show.
Right.
No.
Right.
It was about, hey, here's the date of a concert, and then they're like, ah,
Sure. Of course.
But also, Sis is coming home.
yeah,
Yeah, with Kendrick.
I'd love to go to. I
Where's that
can't,
gonna be?
I can't afford to come to this
Yeah.
show. I didn't actually click on it.
Where is it gonna be? What, Enterprise or
I'm
something?
assuming it's Enterprise.
Cheapest tickets are like $200.
Are you saying that's expensive?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I wasn't
Who
sure.
$200 for a show? Cheapest ticket? Yes, that's expensive.
Okay. I was just checking in with you.
Very much so.
Yeah.
What do you think I'm made of, man? God.
Skin,
Epidermis.
epidermis. Do you have the hats? That's the Super Bowl halftime. Not the Super Bowl hat. That's the Super Bowl memorable thing for me was the freaking skin hats.
Yeah. Very
Ew.
uncomfy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Ew.
for Tubi.
Ew.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Very weird.
Bad
disturbed me.
job, Tubi. Bad job.
Well, you know what? We're talking about it.
Yeah, because it's terrible.
All press is press.
But good to see the Clydesdales back. Good to see them. It's been a while.
I honestly can't believe that they haven't done a horse walks into a bar joke before. Like just like the fact that was like
They've done a why the long face, Joe.
okay, or
I know that.
at least in my memory. But
Well, memories are flawed,
yeah,
but you're not. But your face isn't, Bradley.
well, thank you.
Ladies.
Overarching, as always, is brought to you by First Bank. Bradley, St. Louis's most bank. Not only are they the first bank, they're St. Louis's largest local bank, actually. Specifically, we're sponsored by John Charlton. Thank you, Colin, a lender with the First Bank mortgage team. If you or a loved one has ever been affected by house and need to talk to a professional about money for a house, John Charlton will be your house money man. John is even my personal house money man. That's right, and I trust him with all of my house money needs. Thank you, John Charlton. Thank you, First Bank Mortgage, for sponsoring the show.
Do you think I could do like a sign flip thing with this, like a?
Jesus. Oh, God.
All right. Trains.
Trains.
Do we talk about trains too much on this
Trains.
show?
Too bad.
Trains. I was doing a
A chugga choo choo.
No. Give it to me one more time.
I was doing
Trains.
like the
Trains.
back
Trains.
Trains.
Keep going.
Trains.
Trains.
You're trying to do polyrhythm?
I was trying to do a polyrhythm.
Oh!
The background.
How about
I see
how
what
about you
you're
tell us what
doing.
you're trying to do before
I
you
said
try
keep going. You guys are
You want-
both drummers.
No. You want to say keep going. Keep going doesn't mean
Yeah, keep-
Let's
I
try it one more
stay
time.
in
You guys
rhythm.
keep a quarter note. 5,
Got it.
6,
That makes
7,
sense.
8.
Trains.
Trains is half note actually.
Trains. Yes, it is. Trains. Trains.
Trains.
Trains.
Trains.
Trains.
Trains.
Trains.
Trains.
Trains.
Trains.
Trains.
Trains.
Trains.
Trains.
Trains.
Choo choo.
Trains.
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 Choo.
Trains.
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 Are we okay?
No.
Why do people watch
Why
this
we talking
show?
about trains this time,
Why
Colin?
do people watch this show?
We met a guy.
Which one?
On a train.
We met a guy on a train.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
We
that's a guy.
interviewed the president of Bi-State, the king, the leader, the emperor of Bi-State, Mr. Taulby Roach,
Cool.
and we went out and did an interview with him on the ground, on the street. We just found him. It was crazy.
We definitely scheduled it with his people,
We
but
did, yes. The PR was there, and we did schedule it. I want you to suspend your disbelief though, because it's set up like we just found him, and I'm doing my worst Philomena Kunk impression. yeah. Anyway,
I think
this,
you're doing your best Philomena.
You're right. I was
impression.
trying so hard. I want you to suspend your disbelief about that too. But anyway, this is a new segment, despite the fact that this particular first one was on literally every other kind of transit. Not really, but than a bus. We took a train and a van.
And we have to give thanks to Doug Weaver.
Thank you, Doug Weaver. We're stealing this from you. But this is a new segment, hopefully one of many that we're calling Doing Bus Stuff. Let's do some bus stuff. So, not for any reason in particular, what's the statute of limitations on fare jumping? Could you make it safer down here? But why can't you make it safer? Tell them to buy more buses for the 31. Tell them to buy more buses for the 31.
In the arms of the angel, fly.
Colin, this is where it all happens, right?
So this is where you see all the crimes. So is this the Metro X service? Did you pull these maps up just for us, or is this like, do you guys just look at maps all day? So this is where the trains live.
Well, 10 minutes ago, we had all the cat videos up.
That's really nice. Where do we park? Yeah.
What a great clip you got. I believe I learned things. I believe I laughed about things.
We laughed, we loved.
Taulby Roach
The-
is a wonderful human being.
He is the right man to be running that agency.
So well spoken. Good Lord.
For sure. Bradley wasn't there.
I was not there,
unfortunately.
and also I have not yet seen.
And also at this point, I do not know if any of David's interjections are going to make it in the final cut. So
Oh, some of them will.
I'm sure they will.
But,
David was there, but Bradley has no idea what happened.
Yeah,
man,
yeah. And if you want to see more, the full long version we're going to upload as a separate video on the YouTube. It should probably be there soon or now.
And I gotta say, talking about Taulby just being an extremely well-spoken individual, like so well-spoken, had a thing to, it feels like, combat everything that you were throwing at him.
Sure.
Last night when we were recording this was the mayoral forum regarding transportation infrastructure in St. Louis.
So we've had
And
a
Taulby
little updates.
Roach spoke better.
Oh, was he there?
No, just
okay.
like in our interview, throwing him a bunch of random stuff, was more well spoken than all four of the candidates.
Well, to be fair,
and
I feel like Taulby and
Transit's his entire job.
it's his entire job. That's fair, but he could just be a nerd, and he is that. You know, it takes one to know one, buddy.
he's
But
got
like,
his talking points though,
but
as the
I
mayoral
think
candidates have their talking
especially
points as well.
the dumb little character I was playing, like it. He must have to at least think about how to respond
Yes.
to like the comment sections of St. Louis that are like ill-informed at best and openly hostile at worst toward public transportation. And if I were him, that's all I'd be thinking about when I go to bed at night, and put some really good PR training on that. And what you got is great responses to all the questions that one could be asking in a way that I could never, because he was so diplomatic about everything.
Where do you
Extremely
feel?
diplomatic.
Do you feel like there's a topic that you really didn't get a full answer on?
No,
He didn't really jump around things. He did.
He answered.
He
Yeah,
did
no, he
answer
answered.
quite well.
I did get like 3 specific things that we should be aware of and maybe excited about, or maybe not. So I just kind of want to unpack,
Depending on elections.
well, also depending on how you feel about things. So like, cool thing, we're getting new trains.
Brand
We're getting
new.
trains. From Siemens. There's
Yes.
nothing funny about it. From Siemens. Again,
It's a
stop,
German- it's a
don't
German
laugh. Stop,
trains.
David, stop laughing at the word Siemens.
It's the German trains.
David. Siemens.
The,
They're getting some new Siemens trains. They're not 5 years old as David thought. They are new.
yeah, unlike this current fleet
that we got.
We bought those 5 years old.
Yep,
I was
Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook Market.
We
Porch
picked-
pickup.
Yeah, we took a pickup truck and went to Eureka and got them off somebody's porch, and we put them in the back of a pickup truck, and then we put them on the rails, and that's how they work.
Yeah, they were trains from the old Sky Screamer.
Okay.
Or no, Jet Scream.
Person
Jet,
that
sorry.
only-
Jet Scream is a defunct roller coaster at Six
The
Flags.
only
You said
roller
Eureka, you
coaster
teed me up.
enthusiast.
There you go. Oh, that's fair. Yeah. They do like kink in the middle, so they could theoretically be go around tighter corners for a roller coaster. Anyway, new trains. That's fun. So there's quite a bit to talk about like he took us back to the inner workings where the trains live at Ewing Yard. One of the hot topics about all the metro improvements right now is also about the fare gates. So I'm gonna start with that.
Yeah.
Like
We asked a lot of questions about.
we did, and frankly, at this particular juncture, don't know what's gonna make it in the edit or not. Fare gates though, he had a nice little zinger about fare gates being needing to be fair, but I get it. I take the system a lot. The fare gates have just started coming online, sort of, at quite a few stations. I did ask him about why we started with the city and East St. Louis first when it comes to these fare gates, which feels a little, but you know, I'm not sure I got a clear answer on that, but here we are.
Yeah.
So a lot of these metro improvements, not to jump around, are tied up in like money for transit expansion here in the city and in the region. Cool. We love it.
Yes.
Great. Fare gates, pretty objectively, look like jail.
Yeah, they're pretty obscene.
I can't think of another installation in this country that looks like that. I think it is a medium price to pay for actually having the money to do transit expansion. If that's what it takes,
Right, and that's
fine. I guess.
And that's the core thing here is like, there's a lot of these safety-oriented, the fare gates are the most visible thing.
Right.
And we generally are like, I don't know about that implementation, but the point you're making is there's a lot of money coming in for transit expansion, and in order to get that money and use it for the better things, we have to agree to putting up something that looks like jail.
And frankly, having
Our schools already look like
right,
jail.
yeah. If frankly, having used them already, like, and a security guard has to stand by them and open it every time.
Right now.
Because they haven't implemented the new pay system yet, but they put the fare gates in before they implemented the pay system. So you tap your card and then you just wait there, and then they open it for you, and it's really silly. They do go, and they're a lot more modern than they look. But it's jail. It's jail.
We can make it look better though.
I think we will care less about them as it goes along
Because we'll be desensitized.
because
to
we will
it.
be desensitized. It's also like, I mean, it doesn't go like clang, clang, clang when it opens. Like it is, it's smooth at least. Anyway, I've complicated feelings about them. Anyway, are the fare gates going to work for their intended purpose?
What is their intended purpose?
So what is their intended purpose, right? Like, is it increasing safety?
Is it increasing?
Is it increasing revenue?
revenue? Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yes. Tying revenue to safety is gross because that means you're implicitly saying that poor people are unsafe, that they can't afford to be on the train. I don't like that. But it will work for both those purposes. That's all I'm saying. These are tall. The fences are designed to be unclimbable. What I'm describing to you again is not jail. It's a transit system, not a prison, a place where people get to work and go on the train to work. Not a place of incarceration, but a place that public people are in life that haven't committed crimes. They're just trying to go somewhere. That's the kind of place I'm describing to you with unclimbable fences and big fare gates, and big gates that you have to like scan to get. That's what I'm describing to you,
Yeah.
Bradley.
You're saying that this is a place designed to move a lot of people through.
Correct.
Has wall fences that are unclimbable and
and giant gates to get in it. Yeah. So it's gonna work. You're gonna have to if you're a fair jumper, which I did ask him what the statute of limitations is on fair jumping for no reason.
Yeah.
No, just not me. You're not gonna be able to do that anymore. Period. Unless you're coming from the county, which you will for a couple more years. But they're gonna put them out in the county too. So the whole system will be closed by a couple.
So you
years
just
from now.
literally can't get on the train platform without paying.
But
a fare.
Correct.
But Colin, wasn't there a reason for putting in the fare gates besides just safety and revenue? Was it to maybe get something else?
Yeah. The safety improvements are to, we're tied up in getting a lot of this money for the Greenline, for other transit projects in town. And that's cool. Like I in the state of Missouri, to be able to secure that kind of funding, I'm sure was difficult. So I'm not going to stomp on anyone for catering to people who make these decisions who ultimately aren't going to ride the system. But one thing about Taulby Roach, he does take the metro to work. I want to shout that out.
Yeah.
That was cool. And so here's the thing. These fare gates are going to stop two kinds of people. People who won't pay the fare and people who can't pay the fare. Right?
Yeah.
So people who won't pay the fare are criminals who are deterred by inconvenience.
Objectively.
Right.
Yes.
Criminals meaning anybody from the worst crimes you can imagine to literally fare jumping, which is a crime.
Yes.
So
The broad word criminal.
criminals.
Yes.
Yeah. Royal criminals. Lowercase c. The who are criminals that are deterred by inconvenience?
Bradley,
A criminal. A known criminal.
who is deterred by inconvenience.
Like, do these people exist en masse enough to justify this?
I mean, what? Well,
I don't know.
And the question too, like of we try like we're saying criminals to kind of make a point of like fare jumping is
But that's what I'm saying.
But the point is like when we come to safety, like because like the point is the advertised point is not to reduce crime, it's to increase safety. Now these are interlinked in people's minds, but like I would say that fare jumping is not a crime that causes other people's safety to decrease.
Correct. It's nonviolent. You shouldn't. And also, like, stop fare jumping. Like, that's fine.
Sure.
Like, sure.
Right.
People should pay the fare to
Yeah.
get on the train.
So what are the types of crimes that impede on people's safety that this theoretically is going to reduce?
It's going to stop people who, aren't going to pay $2.50 to go commit a crime of of convenience. Like,
Sure.
if I need to mug somebody right now,
yeah.
like, the fare gates are probably going to stop me. Cool.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, I think the whole point of this is that we're parsing this down to like this teeny subsection of the population. On the flip side, I will say, and maybe this isn't on the flip side, the first time this is allegory, you're going to love this is red meat for the people who are like, well, just fare gates are good. I was standing on the Union Station platform the other day. There was a dude at the top of the stairs, obviously having a mental health episode, and the security guard didn't let him in, and he didn't have money to pay the fare gate, so he didn't get in, and he didn't have that mental health episode near me. Is that a good thing?
It just happened.
So that's the kind of person that won't pay the fare.
Yeah.
Now people who can't pay the fare. This is where I start to get angry about it, because I don't want crime on the system.
Right.
But here's the thing.
That's a bold statement.
Hot take.
I don't want crime on the system. Like, no one wants crime on the system. Frankly, the statistics don't bear out that there was an inordinate amount of crime on the system to begin with, but that's
Oh my God.
parsing things.
You go to your thing first. Sorry.
People who can't pay the fare. So St. Louis has made a fare equity system based entirely on the ease of access to jump the fare. What I mean by that is they don't check. There used to be cops going up and down the train, county cops going up and down the train. There's not anymore. Fleet of Metro safety officers, which is, I guess, cool. But like none of them are checking the fare. They're scanning the train for crime. So St. Louis's fare equity, F-A-R-E, fare equity, is, if you can't afford to pay the ticket, cool, because it's like no one's checking it anyway. And we've all figured that out by now.
Yeah.
But that's not a system. And now that we're actually putting up a system that's designed to, increase revenue and designed to make people who are riding the train people who want to ride the train, St. Louis and bi-state is going to need to come up. This is the question I didn't get to ask him, honestly. Needs to come up with some sort of equitable system to have people, apply, whatever, and get cards, get Metro cards for people who can't afford them. Because the outcome is people who are riding the train should be riding the train because they want to ride the train.
Yeah.
And the fare gate should only stop people that don't fit that qualification.
So then for those who don't know, because I'm sure there are listeners and viewers who don't know, how much is a Metro card per month?
$72, which is not a small amount of money.
No.
It's cheaper than a car, but
yes.
it's $72 access to the whole system. But that's
bus included.
Yeah.
bus included. But
Yep.
that's it's grocery shopping for one in a week. At Save a Lot. That's not a small amount of money. And it's so St. Louis needs to figure out what the future of this system looks like for people who can't afford to pay the fare. Because frankly, these fare gates are going to work. So at the end of the day, if you consider safety a win, I don't know. If you consider safety a win, this is definitely a win for you. The reality is these fare gates are simply placating people who are making a bad faith argument about public transit anyway.
Yeah.
So if they're the ones giving us the money,
At least we got the funds to make other improvements.
the other thing, backing way out,
Yeah.
security. So Fairgate's part of that security, but not entirely. The Metro, and we saw this in the video, the Metro has employed a brand new, I forgot what they call it now, but it's the video see all be all center
Yeah.
that monitors the platforms. Now, one thing I did learn from this, I'm not sure if it made the edit, but the way that cameras used to operate on the train platforms was just to see if trains were coming and going. They weren't actually designed to catch crime. So if a crime did happen on the platform and they happened to catch it in these, system oriented cameras, then cool, whatever. But now, I mean, this is it's crazy.
18,000 cameras.
18,000.
I'm pretty sure we.
So this is
Wait, but
Batman.
I'm pretty
this is
sure
Batman
we
The
put
Dark
that
Knight.
in. We put that in the clip. I'm sure we put that in. But that's
18,000.
who's watching you. Everyone at all times. Okay,
It's
feel safe or feel like you have somebody watching you at all times.
wild.
Yes, and no.
So you might have seen it in the clip. Ewing Yard, they have this. It's Batman. It's any security room.
It is.
in
It's the
any-
Batcave. Yeah,
In
you're right.
any movie, Severance, whatever. That's all the cameras, baby. It's a whole thing.
It's
Everybody worked there. Very, very nice. Very, very cool.
super cool people.
It is truly the envy of all who value surveillance as security.
Yeah, man.
So
to note on this before we get off this topic.
Yeah.
So going back to last night as well, talking about there was one of the four mayoral candidates, I won't say who, but it will be pretty obvious, that brought up how people are victims of tons and tons of crimes on the Metrolink and buses. And people are complaining about how it's getting worse and it's getting more dangerous. And I mean, when I say everybody, I mean everybody. By the way, it was a packed house at the Mayoral Forum last night, like jammed, hundreds of people. It was amazing.
How many of them drove there?
The majority of them. But it was cold, and honestly, they didn't have bike racks there.
Where was it?
So the Paraquad.
Oh, and it's really almost completely inaccessible by transit anyway. So
Yeah.
that's the.
But there is a bike lane on Oakland.
There is.
So-
But the 57 or
Macklin.
whatever that bus is that runs down there through Dogtown, it's an every hour bus.
But you should have seen a picture that Ann Schweitzer posted. Like, people had their bikes on fences, like, everywhere. It was crazy.
oh, cool. But people did ride their bikes.
Yeah, a lot of people
Well, that's
did.
neat. That's
A lot of people did ride their bikes.
That's awesome.
But there was an individual who said all this, and the crowd collectively just groaned. Everybody was like, ugh.
So the mayoral candidate that we won't mention said there's tons and tons of crime, and the crowd moaned.
Yes.
Or groaned. Not
Yes,
moaned.
the crowd just was like, "Oh my god!" like stop talking.
Amazing.
Like you need to do your research before running for mayor of St. Louis.
As we have said,
do your research as to which crowd you're talking to that you need to pander to in this moment.
right? Yeah. Ugh. As we have said before, and this is using old data, that it's safer to walk down the street in Chester, or safer to ride the Metrolink than it is to walk down the street in Chesterfield.
Yep.
So
Twice
and now
as safe.
And now there's a bunch of since we've done that segment, there's all these security improvements.
Yeah. So
Plus-
it's going to be
plus a
like
bunch of
3 or
people
4
on the-
times as safe.
Yeah, it's. I mean, no doubt this will make it safer for sure. So, Batman, Batcave,
Yeah.
security system. If you are the type of person who is afraid that you live in a surveillance state, you do.
Already.
You also do already, but like 18,000 cameras. It's truly impressive. Again, like, if this is what it takes in America to
build
secure
public transit.
transportation money, like I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know what to do. If you are the type of person who has been advocating for better surveillance on the metro system, this should placate you.
You got
Like,
it.
Feel okay, because it's holy crap. Is it an all encompassing system?
Yeah. So now
They assured me
Yeah.
that they don't use facial recognition technology on these cameras, by the way, but they can.
Yeah.
They made sure to
They
mention
did
that
put
they
that
can.
little hint in there, like, but we can.
Yeah.
So
We all looked at each other and were like,
So,
oh.
so Kyle, you're saying for the person who is worried about crime on public transit, and things that,
specifically on the metro. 'Cause
On the
these are
metro.
these are on metros.
yeah, on the Metrolink. So now you can feel safe to drive across the river from St. Charles and park at North Hanley and take the train down to the ballpark.
You could have in the first place, but yes, yeah. But are you? No, you're not going to, because what we learned from this is that the type of people who are driving this conversation that led to all this stuff in the first place are A, all the people who control the funding, and B, people who are never going to ride the system in the first place. And no shade on Taulby. I want to be very clear. It's obvious that Taulby really cares about all this, and his mind is in a practical place about making the system better and making it serve more people. And by doing all these things, the idea is that it will serve more people because it has the money to do it.
So if we want, not letting the ideal get in the way of the real, but if we want the ideal, we gotta talk to folks in Jeff City.
What's talking to him look like, Bradley?
Grabbing them by their waistcoats and dumping them in the river.
I like that. Another thing we learned is that I'm assuming that same mayoral candidate that we were talking about earlier allegedly doesn't support the Metrolink Greenline.
Oh, no, you're thinking of a different person.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
The one
Were you talking about the Republican one?
Yes.
The Republican one. This is
Yes.
not the Republican.
Yeah. Who's all about surveillance, buddy?
Oh, it's Andrew Jones. We all know it's
Yeah,
Andrew
yeah,
Jones. He's
it's
the only
amazing.
Republican in St. Louis.
Yeah, it's all right.
he's run for mayor 70 times in a row. But the one mayoral candidate, who I really won't mention because I haven't corroborated this, but I've sources include.
Well,
Me.
why not mention it and ask them to correct you?
Okay, fine. Kara Spencer.
Talked to me personally.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and please do, because when I voted earlier, like last year in November, I talked to a member of your staff outside my polling place and asked this question, and they said that you'd get back to me, and you never did.
Yeah, but she's busy.
Well,
And you're
busy doing what? Getting votes?
just Colin. you
Yeah,
know?
I'm just Colin. Whatever.
just
I'm a business owner on the corridor that she's talking about retrofitting.
Good choice of words.
So it has been said that Kara Spencer does not support the Green Line. David, you said last night that she did a lot of talk about BRT, bus rapid transit.
She talked a couple times about bus rapid transit.
So I need you to correct me if I'm wrong, Kara. Because here's the thing. In 2017, we voted for the Metro Green Line. This is fixed rail transportation in St. Louis. This is a thing that has been proven time and time again to increase land value, increase the value of the corridor that it serves, and it's fixed rail, so you can't just tear it up whenever the hell you want to. That's the important part. Weird that, Clayco's one of your biggest donors, or that you're involved with them, and fixed rail transit will only serve to increase land value, which makes it then more expensive to build for the developers, but I digress. Fixed rail transportation, we voted for. If you are interested in making that not a thing anymore, it makes you no better than the Missouri politicians in Jeff City that constantly overturn the will of the voter as we vote for these progressive policies and then get our fucking hearts broken because of a couple of people that decide that they know better than us and that we deserve something worse. Bus rapid transit is fine.
It's fine.
But it's not fixed rail. And I can't think of one example of fixed rail transit in the United States that has been built in the last 15 to 20 years that hasn't improved the corridor. Look at our neighbors in Kansas City. Great example. And they're extending it by half as we speak. They're in the testing phase. They built it. It's done.
And it's free.
It's free. It's free
to ride.
And it's not the loop trolley.
And you can
we
hop on
always
and
have
off
to say it.
with no fare gates.
It's free and it's cool and it's safe and it's now serving an even wider part of the community.
Yeah.
But building things like this in America takes so much time because of a lot of bullshit reasons.
But it takes St. Louis even longer.
It takes St. Louis even longer for even more bullshit reasons. But here's the thing, Kara. This is supposed to be done by 2030. If they stay on time, it will have taken 13 years from soup to nuts to build or to vote, plan, and build 5.6 miles of rail.
To a system that already is built out.
To a system that already exists. That is embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I personally have chosen to financially invest in this corridor. I personally have chosen to emotionally invest in this project for 13 years. And it's like, if I have a mayor that's going to take it away in one swath for something that is easier to get rid of and shitify in the future, that it's not going to be good. There are two things really that I think would make me fall out of love with St. Louis. If the Cardinals moved to the suburbs, like the Braves did,
Not going to happen.
it's not going to happen.
Don't worry.
But if it ever did, that's the level we're talking about here.
It would
Sure.
ruin the identity of the city.
It would make me not want to do the show anymore.
Sure.
It would make me not like living here.
Yep.
because it would say something.
I would agree with you.
Right. It would
If
say something
that
about the
happened-
city that you just can't move past.
Yep.
And this is why I not comparing it to actual abusive relationships, but like when you're with a partner and you get the ick and they're mean to you or something happens and it's not cool anymore. That would give me the ick for St. Louis in a way that feels like I invested all this freaking time into this city and the Cardinals just leave. The Cardinals abandon me.
It feels like your city's abandoning you.
It feels like my city. It feels my the thing that I've invested my civic pride in, and money in this case is abandoning me. Taking away the Green Line, after all this time, a thing we actually voted for, and a thing that we've secured money for all these reasons, for all this jail-like fare gates and 18,000 cameras. I'm willing to put up. This is why it's an abusive relationship, right? Because I'm sitting here like convinced, gaslighting myself into believing that the jail fare gates are okay and being 18,000 cameras on me at all times are okay because the funding was secured for this 5.6 miles of rail over 13 years.
This has turned into the Colin show. This whole episode
beautiful.
has just turned into Colin
beautiful.
ranting.
I can't stand it. And it's like if they take it away after all this, what was it all for?
I have a solution. If Kara gets elected.
What is it, David?
Good thing we have a weak mayoral system, and it's already named the Green Line. Bring it to Megan,
It's the Megan
the
Green
most
Line
powerful
now.
person in St. Louis, because the Board of Aldermen president is actually the most powerful person in St. Louis.
And Darlene Green.
And Darlene Green, who is the comptroller, so 2/3. But she might not be reelected, and Megan Green might not be reelected board president. These things might happen. But if 2/3 of your board of estimates and apportionment are green, just name it after them,
Just tell them it's
Just like Benton Park.
the painter.
The painter.
The painter.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We know how much she loves theater.
who?
Megan Green.
Oh, yes.
Come on our show. Seriously. We don't not like you.
Yeah, we do think
we
you're
actually
cool.
do like you. You should.
You probably just shouldn't have thrown that fit. Please.
No, Kara's going to come on the show. So don't worry.
Who?
Kara, she's going to come on the show.
Are you speaking that to the universe?
Oh, we've talked.
Kara, I like you.
We
do.
do like Kara.
Like-
Go Dogs. Go Truman.
I don't have an opinion on that. Go Golden Panthers.
Who are the Golden Panthers?
Florida International
International?
University, baby. I
That's
didn't
right.
graduate. I just went there. But I like you, Kara.
Yeah.
Based on recent polling, probably going to be the next mayor.
Possibly.
Like,
Not probably. Possibly.
possibly. That being a possibility, please listen to your constituents. We've invested in this corridor because of this, and for other things. We like it here, but this is just going to improve that. The will of the people's already been decided. Don't do this. Don't do it. Don't do it. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope she's like, oh yeah, no, I do support the Green Line. What the fuck are you talking about? I would love that. But
Yeah.
my heart rate's up. My blood pressure's up.
You know who does support the Green
I
Line?
got the agita.
Tashara.
Tashara Jones supports the Green Line.
Like vehemently supports the Green Line.
She is the president, the head of the board of transportation in the city.
Yes.
She's in it.
And has changed zoning laws surrounding the Jefferson Green Line.
Correct.
To
40%.
build higher and more dense.
40% less parking minimums and 6 stories instead of 5 for.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's great. Like, I mean,
And y'all are complaining about friggin' ice storms.
right.
Look past it.
The ice
Look
storms suck.
Past it.
And
That-
who
if
you got to
Kara-
complain. You know who you got to complain about the ice storms too?
Man.
Jesus.
Yeah,
So,
Jesus. Good
Not even
point.
sure he's a St. Louis.
Omnipotent. Yep. All
Jesus famous St. Louisan though. Jesus from St. Louis.
oh yeah.
Kara, you can guarantee if Kara
Mormon
was in
Jesus
office,
almost came here.
that's
Yeah,
true.
Sure.
Mormon
Still in
Jesus,
Missouri.
Kansas City though.
Like north of
I mean,
Kansas City.
Nauvoo, truly, but
Well, Nauvoo is more like
outside
Hannibal.
Hamilton, Missouri. something like that.
Something like that. Jackson County, Missouri.
Yeah, but that's Kansas City.
Yeah.
But yeah, if Kara was our mayor at this time instead of Shar, she'd be getting flack.
Sure.
It was just whoever's in office.
No,
Move
sure.
past it. The city as a whole
No, I was like,
was not
we're gonna
doing well.
Yeah,
we're gonna
we were not prepared well.
We're gonna talk. Tune in later. We're gonna talk about just mayoral structure things in St. Louis, but also about the upcoming elections.
Yeah.
But that is a thing where like incumbency bias had such a huge hand in the last spate of elections globally, and I think all too often, and this current race is an example of that. All too often, we as people mistake national or global statistics and trends for local trends. And that can be easily twisted into pandering messaging to help someone secure power who may or not ought to have it. But we'll talk more on that.
Yeah, and next episode we're going to do a little breakdown of where everybody's getting their money. Where mayors are getting their moolah in their campaigns.
My chest hurts.
And somebody's getting a lot of money from people tied to not so great groups in St. Louis.
Maybe?
Yes, very much so. Historically, very much so, not great groups in St. Louis.
Oh, I'm going to go take my blood pressure medication. Overarching is recorded at Fly North Theatricals here in sunny South City, St. Loogie Magoogie. Our producer is Ian Gilbert. Editing is done by Big Picture Media. Logo designed by JP Burks, a.k.a. Scrub. Follow us on social media at Overarching ST Louis. And if you're not watching this on YouTube, go scan a Fairgate and hit that subscribe button. Go scan your subscribe button. I don't know. And if you are, cool. Yeah, hit that. Oh,
Tell your friends to subscribe it.
yeah,
subscribe to it.
Subscribe.
Tell your mom.
Yeah.
Moms love me. Moms love me.
Tell your mom and give David. Give.
You know why moms love me?
Because you're hot.
No, because I go to church.
Yeah, hot.
That's it.
Okay.
That's why moms love me.
How's the mustache for moms?
It reminds them of a better time. The 70s.
And you're
Thank you. That's what I was going for.
and
Thank you, Brad.
you're trapped in a mustache of your own creation because now people don't recognize you and you don't have it.
People just remember when Ford fell.
Well, are we still in the middle of the credits?
We sure are.
Yeah.
And smash that subscribe button. You can follow us on social media at Overarching ST Louis. I'm Colin.
I'm David.
And I'm Bradley.
Check us out on March 14th at Green Fence for our live show. This has been a recorded version of Overarching.